gotten that done, problem 2A. We did 1A and B yesterday, I think. I don't know what they did. We started the practice test yesterday.
I don't think I have.
I don't know what to tell you.
Well,
You have to see if there's any extras back there. I don't remember when I handed it out. All right, so here we go. We got to solve this triangle. Remember now, these are test questions, right? We're going to solve this triangle. What do you think? What do you got right here? Two angles, and if you have two, can't you always find the third? All right, so let's see, those add up to, would that be 68? I should use my calculator. Now, did you notice this right here? That's big, because why? And that means law of sines. So we're gonna say sine 50 over 16 equals sine 62 over C. And you can't miss with this because sine 50 over 16 also equals sine 68 over A. Would you agree with me? And we need to do both of them because we have to find C and A. So we're going to do both of them. With sides, there's no shortcut. With angles, there's that shortcut. They have to add up to 180. With sides, there's no shortcut, so you have to actually find both of them. Do the equation and find them. Okay, so if I do C, I'll cross multiply. So C sine 50 equals 16 sine 62. I'm always going to cross multiply to always divide. So what will I divide by? Sine 50. And that's your work right there. So that's what we're going to type into our calculator. And let's see, this is C. So C is 18.44. Now, just like here, you will be filling in the blanks. So for C, you're going to say 18.44. For A, you're going to say 68. I like to put it like that too. That helps me set out my equations. But these are the answer blanks, all right? So make sure you give them the right blank. All right, and we got to do the same thing here for A. So A sine 50 equals 16 sine 68. We'll divide by sine 50 again. I got 19.37. So we're going to be rounding to the nearest hundredth. So these would be my answers right here. Are we okay with that? We did B yesterday. So we're going to move on to number 3. B, 2B should already be done. Did we do that yesterday? Okay. So now we're going to do number 3. How many triangles are possible? What are the possible answers, by the way?
1, 2, 3.
and 2. 0, 1, and 2. Somebody turned, I'm not gonna say who, turned in a homework and was giving me answers like 15 and 18 and stuff like that. 0, 1, or 2, right? So, let's see what we got. What is the very first thing you notice, I hope, when you look at this problem? Right here, I hope you notice that. Because that is always your clue to do what? Well, sine. So sine 61 over 14. You don't really have a choice here, because all you know is that 12. So you're going to say sine C over 12. Does that make sense to you? Remember, when you do sine, it's an angle. The sides are in bottom. Alright, so 14 sine C equals 12 sine 61. Now remember, after you cross multiply, you divide. What are we going to divide by? Just 14. So sine C equals 12 sine 61 over 14. Now I see everybody's going to the calculator, which is exactly what you should be doing. But be careful, what are you typing in? Opposite, second sign, inverse sign, opposite sign. Whatever you want to say it, it's this. Right? And then that fraction. So 12 sine 61. I got 48.56. Now that isn't the answer. Remember what the question was? How many triangles are possible? Well, there's at least one, right? This one right here is possible. Now I gotta check to see if there's another one. The other one will have exactly the same given. So it's gonna have the 61, the 12, and the 14. But it's gonna have a different angle C. Who remembers how I find that angle C?
Minus 180.
180 minus that, exactly. So that would have to be 131.44. Okay, so if there, we know there's one. If there's another one, the angle in it would have to be 131. So what do you think about that? What do you think about this right here? Not gonna work, because what is 60 and 130? 190? Too much? So it can't be that angle. That angle isn't possible. So therefore, how many triangles are possible? One. Just the original one. There's 3 of these on the test, just like on the practice. So you're going to do the same thing for all 3 problems. I need something else, so 52. So sine 52 over 6, is everybody okay with that? What's that going to equal? Sine 52 over 6, what equal? Sine C over 10. To do once you set up the law sign to cross multiply, and as soon as you cross multiply, you know you're going to divide. And for these, since it's sine C equals looking for an angle. type second sign, that fraction. It means there are no possible triangles. So that's a 0. This one was a 1. So write it down. This one was a 1. That one's none because when I type it in on my calculator, I get an error message. That means it's not possible. Well, let's see. I bet the next one's 2, but I'm not sure. I might have been tricky. All right, can you set this up? Arnie, what's the setup here? Beautiful. That is our setup. Yep.
Even if your two equals add up to like, say it was like 179, would it be 2 triangles?
As long as it's not, the 2 cannot be 180 or more. But yeah, as long as they're less than 180. Now, the triangle would look very, very strange because it would have a 1 degree angle, which is very small. But it's possible. All right, 19 sine C equals 20 sine 68. And divide by 19. And I am going to second sign that fraction. All right, does that one work?
No.
Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, I got an answer. I got 77.42.
Yeah, that's.
Now, I don't know whether the second triangle works or not. So remember, after you get the first one, the given doesn't change, so that part of the triangle, that stuff that we started with is still there. But now I'm wondering, is there a different angle? If there is, it's 102.58. These two add up to 170. Yep, 2 triangles possible. Now, some of you missed points on your homework because you didn't show adequate work. You have to show adequate work. So when I grade your paper, there's 2 things I'm looking for. I'm looking for that angle, and I'm looking for that angle. That's the work I need to see, because that's how you know.
What is our test?
Monday.
Is that on the first quarter?
Yeah, I remember.
Is that on the first quarter?
I think I just said it like 10 minutes ago.
I think I was just one.
That's why you need this list. All right, next page. Oh, we did number 4. All right, so we're ready for number 5, which is the word problems. Okay, so here we go. Draw a picture. All right, guys. This is the directions on the test. Draw a picture. If you don't draw a picture, you're losing points. If you do draw a picture, but you don't have a clue what's going on, you'll at least get something for drawing the picture. So we have a regular octagon. Octagon means how many? 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's all 12s. There's something else I know. What do I know? That guy right there. How big is he? 360 divided by 8. So he's 45. Now I'm finding area, right? I have two ways of finding area. Hero's formula isn't going to work because I don't know all the sides. However, what's my other area formula? 1/2 side, side, sine, and I can do that. So 1/2, 12, 12, sine 45. All right, now, don't get excited and circle that. That is not the answer. That is the area of the triangle. I need the area of the whole octagon. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this number right here and I'm just going to say times 8. So the octagon is 407.29 square inches.
Why is it square?
Area square inches.
And is the test, is that in the first quarter?
Is Monday still for the third quarter? Okay, so here we set. All right. Find the length of the shorter diagonal of a rhombus. A parallelogram is like a tilted rectangle. A rhombus is a tilted square. So a rhombus has all sides the same. So these are all 16. The smaller the smaller angle is 32, 34. So which of these is the smaller, the bottom one here or the top one here? The bottom. So I'm gonna make this 34. Now I want the length, I'm not doing area, I'm doing length of the shorter diagonal. So this is one diagonal, and this is the other diagonal. Number 1, number 2, which one's shorter? Number 1. That is what I'm finding the length of. Not area. Not area. I want length. And if I want length, then I have to use the law of sines or cosines. Okay, so take a look at your situation. If that confuses you, you can get rid of that part. We don't need it. Is this going to be a sines or a cosines problem? Cosines? So I'm going to put cosine 34 out here. And I'm going to have x squared over here. And then what's going to go in the middle? 16 squared plus 16 squared minus 2 16 cosine 34. I got 9.36 meters or centimeters.
cut it. Hey.
What did you get, Chase?
Yeah, did you square it?
You didn't square it. Remember, that's that square, so you have to square it in. Yeah, but it's deadly. Yeah. Alright, number 3. Now I'm gonna take that rhombus that I just had. So 16, 16, 34. And now I'm going to find its area. Well, can I draw in the same diagonal I drew before and find the area of this triangle right here? What's the area of that triangle going to be? 1/2. 16 times 16 times sine 34.
Can you also do 2 zeros for me? Or do
You could, but here's the problem with zeros for not. Is you're using that 9.36, that's rounded off. And if you think about the formula, all 4 components then would be inaccurate because this is rounded off and then using that rounded off and subtracting. So it really is not the best. If push came to shove and I had no other options, I would do it. But generally speaking, zeros are only used when they're given all 3. Okay, so we type that in. Okay, great, we can do that. And then, remember, that's the area of the triangle. So if I want the area of the whole rhombus, I gotta times 2 in that. So 143.15 square centimeters. Length is centimeters, area is square centimeters. Are you with me? Last one. Find the area of a regular hexagon. So here's my circle. What does hexagon mean? 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nobody's grading your picture, just draw one as best you can. And the radius is 14 this time. Okay? So now what do we need to do? We need to figure out our angle first. So how big is our central angle right here?
360.
Well, the whole thing is 360, Kate. So how many are there?
60.
60. We'll never put 360 in a triangle, right? Because you only have 180. Now, can I find the area of my triangle?
Yes.
Yep. 1/2. 14, 14, sine 60. But do not write that down. No one cares what that is. We need to take that answer and
Multiply.
by
6.
so the area of the hexagon, which is the answer to the question, 509.22 square inches. doesn't say inches and it doesn't say anything, then you don't know what it is.
So the divider is, oh.
If it says centimeters, then it's centimeters, and it says inches, it's inches. Or feet, or whatever.
Can we play a review game?
We might, we gotta get through our other practice tests here. So here we go. Practice test 2, simplify. Round together up the paper. All right, you have an idea? Remember, no points. We're sitting and staring at it. You have to do something. Anybody have an idea? Did I get all those papers? Does anybody have an idea? About what we ought to do here? No one has an idea?
Check them out and,
Long division, yeah, or not long division, but write them out as longhand division. So cosecant divided by secant. Now I did that because what do I know about cosecant?
1 over sine.
It's 1 over sine. Divided by secant, which is 1 over cosine. And now I have a fraction divided by a fraction, so I can change that. And many times at this point, something will cancel. Not this time, but I can multiply them, right? What do I end up with when I multiply them? Cosine over sine, which you are exactly right, is cotangent. Okay? I will not be there to jumpstart you on test days. You are gonna have to do something. All right, B, cosine squared over 1 minus sine.
Change the bottom into sine squared.
The bottom,
Oh, no, top.
I'm gonna change the top. What am I gonna change the top into? It isn't sine squared, it is 1 minus sine squared. So cosine squared is 1 minus sine squared. Oh, no, you can't cancel, why not? Can't cancel pieces of it. You have to cancel the whole thing or not at all. What do you notice about the top? We haven't seen this in a couple of days, but in the beginning we saw it all the time. The top is factorable. It's the difference of squares. 1 is a square, and obviously sine squared is a square. How does the top factor? How does the difference of squares factor?
1 minus sine.
1 minus sine, 1 plus sine. Very good. Was that you, Mr. Ayers? Good job. Is that you that said that?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So that factors 1 minus sine, 1 plus sine. Guys, if this had been a 4, it would be 2 minus sine, 2 plus sine. Right? If it had been a 9, it'd be 3 minus sine, 3 plus sine. cancel. Because you're canceling the entire quantity, not just a piece of it. When you put a plus or minus into your fraction, you cannot cancel bits and pieces. Okay? All right. Number 2, solve the following triangle. We are doing a test right now, you guys. This is your test. This is exactly what you're going to have to do on Monday. So let's start filling in the blanks. What do you think? Can you fill in the young men? Angle C, I heard somebody say is 49. Those are easy. If you have 2 angles, just go ahead and subtract from 180, and that blank is now filled in. That is angle C, done. Okay, now what? Oh my gosh. Yes, good work, Emma, thank you. Sine 49 over 10 is going to equal, what did you say? Sine 58 over A. So she'll cross multiply. And every time you cross multiply, you're going to divide. What am I going to divide by? Sine 49. Do I need the second sign this time? Nope, I just straight plug it in. And side A, in the side A blank, that's what she was finding. In the side A blank, you're gonna put 11.24. Is that what you got? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now I need side B. So guess what I'm gonna do? Same thing, no. Now I'm gonna do the same thing over again. I'm gonna go back to my match. So I'm gonna do sine 49 over 10 equals sine 73 over B. Always go back to this. This is the key right here. Go back to this. If you have this, go back to it. What did you get for side B?
12.67.
So they're not. So side B is 12.67. Alright, we're gonna do one more problem. We're gonna do B, which is another solve the triangle. Alright, let's look at B. This is 2B. We are finding angle D, angle F, and side E. Law of cosines. Does everybody recognize that? It's gotta be a cosine. So, the only angle I got is 53, so out here I'm gonna have cosine 53. And then over here, I'm gonna have e squared. This is just like the quiz you took. And then what's gonna be all this stuff in the middle here?
16 squared plus 10 squared minus 2 times 16 times 10.
Yeah.
Cosine.
Beautiful. We'll type it all in. And Chase, we're gonna remember to square root it. And I got 12.78. And that is little e, that is side e, 12.78. Girls, is that what you got? All right, but we still got 2 more blanks to fill in, so what do we do?
The pair, the 12.7.
Now we have this. So now we can do the law of sines. So sine 53 over 12.78 equals sine what? F over 16. Cross multiply. Every time you do the law of sines, you're going to cross multiply. And every time you cross multiply, you're going to divide. So what will I be dividing by? 12.78. So sine f equals this big fraction. We don't want sine f, we want angle f. So what are we gonna have to do to get angle f? Second sine that guy. What'd you get? Let's see, what was it? Yeah, 89.03. Now we need angle D. Subtract from 180. Once you have now 2 angles, we can subtract those from 180, and this one is 37.97. Is that right?
I did 59.
Okay. Is that right?
Yes.
Perfect. So now we have solved the triangle and the problem is over. Okay? They don't really have time to get number 3 done, so I'm gonna stop right there. Tomorrow, we will finish review 2. Practice test 2. And then we will work on, remember this big sheet of identities or verification simplifies that we did. I told you to hang on to that sheet because the back side was extra review. So we'll be doing some of that tomorrow too. All right, and then on Friday, we'll do our third practice test. All right. Let's try to be on time tomorrow.